So here were the limitations. One is they had to use Rudolph, obviously. Okay. They also had to use their creative discipline. So whatever it is that they do as a creative person, we contacted them and said, hey, can you do that thing for us? And most of them said yes. Some said no. We'll get them next year. The other limitations are they had their presentations divided into two parts. The first 10 slides is the story. So this whole thing is not the Rudolph story, it's just the first 10 slides. The second 10 slides are their process. So they're going to tell you how they solved this problem, which is the part that I was most excited about, because as a teacher I really like seeing students work through a problem, and I think as creative people you are going to learn quite a bit from seeing how these people solved this problem. It also gave them only half of the time to make something, so they were more likely to say yes. So the Rudolph story is 3.5 minutes, and then the whole thing is 6 minutes and 40 seconds. The last limitations are, they had 4 slides that they had to cover. The first one is a title slide. The 4th slide had to have Santa on it. The 7th slide had to have all the other reindeer, and the 10th slide has to have Rudolph and his nose shining. So that's what we told them. All 10 of these presentations came together sort of on their own, and they're all brilliant. I'm just really excited about what's about to happen. So, did I cover everything, Jake?
Bingo.
Yeah, Jake says bingo. Okay. First presenter is Adam Trabold. Adam's a cool guy. Okay. Adam has been writing and performing music for over 10 years, and he has shared the stage with bands such as Need to Breathe and Hanson. By day, Adam is a designer, and by the end of October, he is in full Christmas mode. Adam's life goal is to play Scrooge in the Omaha Community Playhouse's yearly performance of A Christmas Carol. This guy loves Christmas, so that's why he's going first. Adam Trabold.
How y'all doing? Hey, so I have a little bit of a confession to start this out. As my North Pole jacket proves here, I've actually been to the North Pole. And I created a 3-song EP from the perspective of Rudolph, but it actually is Rudolph's. I stole it from him. So I figured he should do the presentation of this part. So just a second. Hey guys, I'm Rudolph. So I was born with a mild deformity. My nose glows a little bit. That lost me a lot of friends growing up, so I have some issues. Because I was lonely, I did what every teenage guy does. I picked up a guitar and I started writing a lot of music. And so basically this album's my story. And the first song is called What Christmas Is All About. Lights on a tree, my girl next to me. What Christmas is all about. So that clip, I was born different, and people were afraid of me because of that. So even this guy, who was basically our king, he told my dad I needed to be ashamed of myself. And I was born this way, and have no idea how he thought that would make me feel. So it caused me to grow up really sad and lonely. I had to hide my true self from everybody else, and nobody knew my true self. Legend speaks of a vagrant snowman that roams our hills. They say if you listen on a clear night, you can hear his hymns through the trees. And that last clip, that song, is based on one of his hymns called Silver and Gold. It tells how great Christmas is for everybody but me. And one day my secret came out, and everybody exiled me except for one girl. That girl was beautiful. She told me I was cute. Her name is Clarice. This next song's hers. Oh, Clarice, just maybe you'll let me hold you in my arms and take me somewhere we can shine. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Forget their warnings, we fly away from here. So even with Clarice being okay with me, I still didn't feel I truly belonged in society, and so I ran away. I needed to leave. But while I was away on my adventures, I realized we're all pretty different from each other. It takes all kinds, and I was okay with being myself, finally. I was ready to face a life that required whatever that meant.
So I came back. I needed to forgive them. They ended up needing me too. They apologized and we made up. I even ended up saving Christmas, which is crazy. And that's what this last song is about. Years of disgrace, crescendoing into one miraculous redemption. This song's called Flight.
The fog came down. We leapt from the ground as I lit up the clouds. They told me you're the dead history.
So that's the EP that I have written that Adam appropriated. You've got download cards on your everywhere. MyNameIsRudolph.com, download it. I'm going to go get Adam again to talk about the process. So there's the story of the songs. Now onto the process. It's pretty straightforward. I wrote it all in Evernote on my iPad and demoed it in GarageBand on my iPad. And then I had a buddy of mine, Alex, help me record it in various places around town into Logic Pro, and then I had it mixed and mastered in Pro Tools at his buddy's studio in Florida. And when I was writing it, I really wanted to figure out how to best tell the story. So I broke it into 3 acts, the movie version that is. Basically, his lack of belonging, he meets a girl and then redeems himself. And so that first song, What Christmas Is All About, I never heard the story of Rudolph told in his own perspective, so I decided that would be really interesting. Plus, I also wanted to hit 3 different Christmas styles: classic crooner, pop hit, and then the epic ballad. So this first one, What Christmas Is All About, harkens back to classic Christmas songs like Nat King Cole and Silver and Gold. And it's about, we've recorded it with basically just one electric guitar. It's really sparse to kind of highlight that. We layered it to beef it up, but other than that, some sleigh bells, that's it. And it's rare to start off on such a low note in a record, but we did that because it was really important to Rudolph's story. So I was inspired by the classic song Silver and Gold. You can see some of the lyrics there, which is about Christmas being worth so much more than these expensive things. But since Rudolph's never felt that, I kind of flipped it. The verses basically list everything that's awesome about Christmas with the hook, What Christmas Is All About, but then flips it to I'll never know what Christmas is all about at the end to signal Rudolph's lack of understanding of it. The second song, Clarice, is to hit that folkier, poppier, Twin Forks, Lumineers vibe, basically backwoods folk, but from LA or New York. And so, for production, we layered this one up. We threw mandolins and claps and shakers and all kinds of crap on it. And the recording process is usually pretty individualized, so when we get into the studio like this all together, it's really fun, because it gets kind of hot, which is bad and not fun. I don't know why it's fun. But this song is basically the teenage love song. And so Rudolph's basically sitting in his bedroom dreaming up all these ways he can end up with Clarice. And it's driving and builds tension to kind of, highlight that idea of the nervousness and excitement of love he's never felt before. And kind of shows that everything's going to be okay for him, and his heart starts to open to that idea. And the last song, Flight, is the self-realization song. I wanted this one to be incredibly epic. We layered it up with organs and choruses and just massive guitars and all these synthesizers, just to sound really huge and moving. And a fun fact, I actually wrote this on a flight, which is kind of meta. So that song made Rudolph realize everything that he had won by saving Christmas, right? It ends even with the same sentiment, you'll go down in history, which is the perfect capper in my opinion too. I think this song I kind of consider my rewriting of the original one the most out of any of them because it kind of follows the same progression. But yeah, so that's the record for recording. I really got to thank my friends, Alex Woodard, who's a bandmate of mine. He spent a ton of time with me recording this thing and engineering the whole record. And then my buddy Phil, who did all the drums and some background claps. And then my buddy Josh at Ursa Major Sound in Florida, who did all the mixing and mastering, which is basically just making sure everything sounds like a real record. Without these guys, I just have acoustic demos for you guys on my MacBook that would sound like bad. So that's the record. You've all got download cards. MyNameIsRudolph.com. Download it. It's free. Share it. Give it to people for Christmas. You can even pull it up on your way home tonight. The site is responsive. MyNameIsRudolph.com. Thank you so much for listening to me. Appreciate it.
Adam wrote 3 full songs just for this event. That's amazing! Yeah. So you only heard clips, but that site has complete tracks. That's amazing. Oh, also, the cover of his EP has a big red circle on it. That was his solution for Rudolph being in the 10th slide. Yeah, okay. So up next is Liz Noser.